Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will talk about function, control structures, and loop in R. In the previous video, I discussed some basic concepts I talk about different type of data frame, data structures, and data type used in R. I discuss about the metrics, vectors, and variables. So in this video, I will talk about function, control structure, and then loop. So sometime you have to perform same operation with different input multiple time. So in R, for this type of purpose, we have function. What function will do, it will take one or more input and it will perform same operation and then give us the output, so we don't have to repeat the operation again and again. So here we have an example. In this example, we want to calculate the sum of square of two number x and y. So here we used a function. So for creating a function, you have to use function. Just run this code, it will give us the square of two number x and y. Function can also give us output plots or message to the terminal. So here we have an example. We want to print a message to the terminal. So what we want to print? We want to print here is the result. Here you can see, here is the result 13. So what this code is basically doing, this code basically calculate the square of x and y and then it print it on the terminal. Also in R, if statement are basically used to execute code only when we have different or if some condition well met, then it will execute the code. Okay, so you can use if statement to perform different action depending on your input. Here we have an example. In this example, we use if statement to insert a function to classify the length of CPG. Actually, we want to classify the length into if it is large, normal, or short. So here we define a function to classify the length. Here we use function and then we're classifying. Check if length is greater than 1000. So if it is greater than 1000, it will return larger. If it is If the length is between 500 to 1000, it will return normal. And if the length is less than 500, it will return shorter. Okay. So here, what it will for the result 1, it will print larger. For the result 2, it will print normal. And for the result 3, it will print shorter. Why? Because in result 3, we have length less than 500. In result 2, we have length less than, it is between 500 to 1000, and in result 3 we have a length less than 5000. Sorry, in result 1 we have more than 1000. Okay, so if when you will run the code, you will find the result larger, normal, or shorter. So how this code work? In this code, the function classify CPG island. It basically take a single argument length. Okay, here you can see, and if a statement basically check if the length is greater than 1000, it will return larger. If it is between 500 to 1000, it will return normal, and if it is less than 500, it returns short, as I already discussed. Then in R, we have loops and loop structures. Loop are basically used in every programming languages. So in R, what is loop and what is basically the syntax of loop in R? Loop is basically used to repeat a certain task multiple times. Loop run basically loop is run for a specific number of until it meet a certain condition. So here we have an example. What we want to do in this example, we want to run the loop for 10 time. Okay, so here what is the syntax of the loop? Here we are using the for loop. In for loop we have I in. So what we want to do, it will start from 1 and it will run until 10 time. Okay, and it will print this, the text that is written inside the cat. It will print this text in 10 time. When you will run the code, here you will find the output. It run the code, I mean, it print this text in 10 time. Next, we want to calculate the length of CPG. What this loop will do, this loop will calculate the length of the first 100 CPG by subtracting the end coordinate from the start coordinate. Let's see how it's work. So, for example, we have a data frame with the start and end coordinates. Okay, here we have a data set. Start in a, from a start For the start we have sample. It is 1000 to 1000. So actually we have random start coordinate, and in the end we randomly put some numbers. So here now we are using function to calculate the length of CPG. Here we use the function. Okay, so here what we are doing, this code, we are basically using this to initialize a vector to store the length. Then here we are using the for loop. So it will start from 1 to 100. Okay, so then we are using calculate the length of first 100 CPG. So it will calculate the length of the first 100 CPG and then it will print it. Okay, in our print function is used to print something, and mostly in all the programming language this function is used. You can use this in R and Python as well. So when you will click on the run, it will give you the first 100 CPG. Then sometime we have to apply family function instead of loop. Why we have to apply function instead of loop? When you are dealing with a large data set, you can use parallel function for parallel packages, such as MCL apply. What this function will do, this function divide the workload into smaller tasks, okay, which you can process on separate GPU. So the result from each process can then combine. So it will combine the result from different process into a single output and maintain the order of the input data. So uh, in simple word, you can say that if you will use this family function, it will process your code very quickly and it will give you result very quickly. So first we have to vectorize the function in R. So in R, most of the operation don't require the loop. Okay, because vectorized function can directly handle the vectors. For example, instead of using n apply with sum, you can simply use plus operator to sum the vector x, s and y, x without using a loop. Okay, so here we have two data set xs and yx. We want to perform the addition. We don't have to use the loop to add the numbers. We can just use this operation and we can just add xs and ys value of these two variables we can add, and then we can print. So if in R, if you want to know the column, if you want to add the column or the row, you can use the function call sum or row sum. Call sum is basically used to sum the column, and row sum is basically used to sum or add different rows. Here we have an example. We want to in this example, we want to do, we want to see the column sum, calculate the sum of the column which are in mat. Okay, so we will just use this call sum function and then we will print. Here you can see the column that are in this code, column sum 12, 15, 18. Then to get the row sum, we can use row sum function. So here we use the row sum function on the same data set made, and here you can print. This was basically the basic tutorial that you can use, and you can learn about different type of loops, function, different type of things in the R. So I will share the link of link of my this notebook on the video. You can use this and you can practice. This lecture is basically for the beginners who can use this notebook and learn this. Also, if you want to run the same code on the R Studio, you just need to copy paste the code and copy the code from the Google Colab and then paste on the terminal of the R Studio. You can run the code. In next video, I will explain ggplot, and we can start a real work on genomic data analysis. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video.